Oh yeah, yes. It brutally shows like how powerful waves are, and those waves are breaking all night long.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's gotta hurt.
Oh,
Yeah, just hold
Guy's
on,
gone.
dude. Just the captain had it.
we're back on. All right.
Awesome. We're going to look at one of the compilations of wave power that I like to illustrate to people because it brutally shows like how powerful waves are. Because people go to the beach, they see some waves, their kids play, and they're like, "Oh yeah, well that makes sense. You know, I can understand what you're saying." But like, they don't understand the true power of like, hey, like there's a big difference. Like you've got wind, you've got solar, then you've got waves, right? And so it's like, well, all those three are comparable. It's like, I don't know, man. Take a look at this video and tell me if you're more scared of waves, wind, or solar. You know, like which one has more power? So,
Yeah. So we're looking at boats in the water.
yeah, this is Indonesia. Before we push play, I would like to say that this is someone's livelihood, and I don't know what the insurance deal is in Indonesia. And so, you know, I hope the owner of this boat is doing well now. You know, I don't know the backstory.
Nias?
Nias. Or Nias. I think it's Nias. Really, really good surf spot. And I'm sure he was probably single anchored, and his line probably got separated from the anchor, and he went into the surf zone, is what I'm assuming, but I'm most likely correct. Yeah, the boat's empty.
Oh, okay. Let's kick it off here.
All right, so there you go. Look at that.
How big is that wave? That's 20, 40
That's
feet?
like, so here's the deal. You know, Indonesia is, it's not famous for like 25, 30-foot gnarly waves, but what it is famous for is like 8-foot perfection, 10-foot perfection, like 12-foot really, really good waves. But this was a really, really powerful swell, and the waves had very, very high quality, but they're, you know, really concentrated power. And so here it goes. That's a, you know, I don't know, 20-foot long, 3-meter long boat. That thing's getting crushed. It's not a light boat, you know.
Game
It's
over.
got a pretty good diesel engine on it, you know. It's got an engine on it similar to what a really good sized construction truck would have. Yeah, just getting, I mean, it's getting tossed, you know. And notice like there's, you know, the wave broke and there was no, like the wave didn't get
Slow down.
adjusted, you know,
Nope.
like at all, right? It just kept on rolling. Like, so, you know, that's the difference, right? And, you know, once again, right, like how many houses can we power from that one wave?
That one wave. That's
One wave, you know,
that's a
not
whole
to
week.
mention the week.
Yeah.
You know, how many of those waves were in an hour? What, 20, 30?
That was just one. Yeah.
That was just one. What about the in-between sets that are half the size, you know, 2/3 size, right? And those waves are breaking all night long.
All right. Number one. Boats in the ocean. Oh, this guy's trying to surf.
All right, yeah, he's trying to do a step off, you know.
Too late. Or no,
Except-
it was just too powerful. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's awesome. I like how he has precariously placed all of his expensive surfing equipment on the boat in the worst way possible, and then he gets hit by the side. So boats are actually designed to like travel through the waves, and you know that's like whole design and how you navigate the boat. But the thing is, it's like none of those characteristics of the boat are actually applicable when you're a complete moron. Like a lot of people don't know that, you know. Oh, that's cool. That's nice how he like also parked his boat in the surf zone near rocks, right? So yeah, there you go.
So there's a place to do, like right off to the side, there's a place where those waves aren't coming, right? It's just maybe 100 yards down or...
Yeah, you know, here's the deal, right? Like, you know, I don't know. Maybe that guy is smart. He's got his stuff together. Highly doubt it. But, you know, he should have went well outside the surf zone and set anchor. But maybe he got too close and he lost, you know, his engine and who knows what happened. But I guarantee you it was probably a compilation of bad choices, right? I've been in boats my whole life. I know the whole situation. That looks like California. Okay. And so I'm kind of thinking... that maybe what happened is, you know what happened? I guarantee you what happened is he probably got some seaweed in his prop and
got
shut his
stuck.
engine off.
Oh, lost control.
You know, and then there he is in the surf zone all of a sudden, right? But like that's one of the things that you plan for. You know, like, hey man, like we'll get closer. I want to check the surf before we anchor here. Maybe we'll go to another spot. It's like, how close did you get? How many kelp pits did you travel through at full speed?
Ooh, yeah.
You know?
Point of no return.
Yeah, and one kelp strand is not that powerful, but 50 are. You know, and once again, here we go, right? Like, How much does that boat weigh? If you got on that boat right now and its engine was running perfectly and you started it, right? Like, even though you're close to the rocks, right? You could probably figure it out and get out of that surf zone. But here's the deal. Like, that boat is going to get beaten over and over and over again before the swell dies, okay? And no one's going to tow it out and rescue that. Like, that boat's done. Even though it looks good to condition right now, that boat's done. That's the difference. Like, that's waves. They're over and over and over again, right? And that's a little bit about our competition as well, right? Like, hey, these wave energy converters, like during the big swells, we've perfectly engineered them to sink themselves and not gather waves because, you know, it's too violent and there's too much going on and it's not optimum at that point to gather energy. My complaint is like, if you're not designed to grab energy at the most powerful times of when swell's happening, then you're missing out on what the ocean could really provide. And then you're also missing out on, you know, making the most energy as humanly possible.
Number 2. Sailboat.
Ooh, so this is Ala Moana. It's a really big swell, but that, I don't know, these going right, that might be Point Panic. There's a right off of Ala Moana Harbor. I mean, how did this guy... Because you can see the wave's going to slightly die down a little bit, right? And you can see the surfers there. Yeah, I would say this is probably Ala Moana, right? And so it's a sailboat. So sailboats have motors, right? Even though they're, you know, they operate it optimally on under sail. But, you know, he can't really jam it, you know?
No.
Like, sailboat motors are kind of designed around like being used at, you know, desperate times when there's no
good
wind,
enough.
and also like you need to park it, right? So like, you know, old sailboats, right? Like, you know, like hundreds of years ago, yeah, they used to be parked with rowboats and stuff like that, which is kind of cool the way they would do that, right? Oh my God, what's this guy? Yeah, oh, there he goes, side to the waves, right?
He's in trouble.
So yeah, the special warfare coxswain combat guys like that support SEALs, you know, they would be up in arms over these videos, you know, like, hey, they did it wrong. Oh yeah. Yes. There you go.
Jeez.
That's why you never sit in the front, you know. You can tell an experienced boat rider, he'll grab an uncomfortable seat in the back as opposed to the comfortable padded ones in the front because they know the deal.
What's going on here?
Here we go. We got a set coming. We got some surfers. All right. Where is this?
That looks like California.
Yeah. Is this oh, this might be Toto Santos.
Oh, he's playing. He's playing around.
Yeah, this might be Toto Santos.
How fast do you think he's going there?
Not fast enough. If they're in this video, I could tell you that. Yeah, I don't know where this is, though. Oh, you know, it might be... I don't know, that's a pretty long, like, kind of point break-like wave. Yeah, I have no idea where this is. I'm trying to get a look at it. It's definitely not Toto, so I can tell you that. It's a little bit of high tide. I mean, this guy's just, like, he's just way too close.
Yeah, and that close to shore, it can't be that deep.
Well, it's high tide too, right? So you kind of you get some waves that are a little bit harder to read, you know, because they got to come in a little bit farther, but sometimes they break off, you know, like. So that's the situation.
This is
So dangerous, right there.
Southeast Asia, Africa.
This is like Bangladesh 101 right here. You know, I don't know. Looking at that boat, let's see. Yeah, that looks like that's India, Bangladesh. Yeah, that's it. It's gonna be India from what he's wearing right there. I've seen that. Or Bangladesh.
Those are the dudes you were training to swim, right?
Yeah, I love Bangladesh. There's a part of me that will always be in that country. But yeah, I would have like these common sense conversations with them, and they would like shake their head. They'd be like, yeah. And then they would do like the exact thing I told them not to do. And then they would get hurt. And they'd get hurt, and they'd be like, what happened? I'd be like, dude, what happened is exactly what I told you was going to happen. Like, don't go take your boat right there. And then like, we're going to take our boat right there. Like, you probably shouldn't. Like, okay, we're going to do it. I'm like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Okay, we're gonna do it. Okay, well if you're gonna do it, do this. Okay, we're not gonna do that. And then they come back, they're like, we got hurt. I'm like, yeah, that I told you. Like knuckleheads, like I'm jumping up and down for the last half hour, like don't do that, like, but they go ahead and do it, So yeah, I would tell these guys like, hey, wait till the set. I would always tell them like, hey, turn the boat around and test your engine, first, right? So you're not like, you don't want to get slammed by a 6-foot wave wondering if your engine's going to work, They'd be like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Is this a speedboat?
Oh, I've seen this before. Yeah, this is, I want to say it's Florida, kind of by the boat and everything like that, but
Florida gets that big? Hurricanes?
it does. It's going to be it's not going to be a hurricane like coming into Florida. It's going to be like a hurricane force storm, like 600,000 miles offshore, right? Yeah, but that's a really expensive boat.
He's testing it. They're testing it. Here we go.
So what you want to do right there is you want to slow down. They always, so you want to slow down, right? Yeah. Oh my God, that's gotta hurt. Everybody's guts are in pain right now. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, where'd they go? Boat stopped working.
Yeah, so the boat stopped working.
So why slow down?
You don't want to get that air the way he did, right? You want to slow down,
You want to hug it.
Well, like a really efficient way to travel by boat through waves that are like, even smaller than that is you have a throttle and a driver, right? A guy who drives and a guy who throttles, and they kind of like end up working well together.
Oh,
right?
It's usually one guy doing it, but you
you want one guy just doing the throttle, right? So the other guy steers and kind of like you get really good at it, right? And so the guy will like slow down. So when you go over that wave, you kind of like, you're hauling the mail, then you kind of like just crest it like that, and then you haul mail during the trough, and then when you hit when you hit the peak, you slow down, right? So you don't do what he does. Let's see if he does the same thing, right?
Slow down here.
Well, what happens is people get nervous, so they hit the gas, right? They're trying to like, I think we're gonna get hit by a big wave, and they hit that gas right before because they're nervous,
It's a ramp,
and
they just.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you drive a truck uphill, right? You're driving a truck uphill and you're going down, right? And you kind of steer the tires. I don't want to go down, right? But you're supposed to steer into it, right? So you don't slide. This is Mavericks, 100%. That's the satellite structure that's on the cliff at Mavericks.
Oh!
Yeah, just hold on, dude. Just the captain had it. He was good. He was close. You don't have to freak out, like.
He jumped.
Maybe that's a photographer, right? He's not as well versed as the surfers in the boat.
He took off.